So welcome back, folks. So today we have a special guest, Mr. Ken Cunningham. Is Mr. Cunningham there?
Yes, looking forward to it. Just sorry that I can't be present live in your studio.
No problem. So I'm glad you're still there, Mr. Cunningham. So let's talk of the moratorium that was lifted in Colombia. So first of all, what was the moratorium about, and what are the implications for Miranda going forward?
Well, the moratorium was put in place by the Colombian government about 2.5 years ago, and it was really in response to their needing to fix their mining code, if you will. And so they simply found that they were so buried with applications for concessions or properties that they couldn't keep up, and so they put a moratorium against applying for new mining concessions. And that was just after Miranda opened its office in Medellin and really got active in Colombia. So we've been, if you will, we've been kind of just keeping pace for the last 2.5 years. We've been doing data compilation. We've been working on projects that we wanted to acquire once the moratorium was lifted, and developing information on those projects. And so exactly as you mentioned, on July 2nd, the government, through a new mining agency, so they actually reformed their mining agency, created a new department to look after mining, and lifted the moratorium on July 2nd. And that, of course, is creating lots of opportunity for Miranda, and it's also attracting a number of the major Canadian and international mining companies.
Okay. Let's talk of that point that you just mentioned there, because I know the Miranda Grande project was a project that you were looking for, Agnico-Eagle, and you didn't, when the last interview you said that you didn't want to present Agnico-Eagle only with the Miranda Grande project, because you wanted to wait for the lift of the moratorium to actually give them a basket, a portfolio of projects that look good to see if those projects fitted with their criteria. So far, are you guys are still want to keep that same strategy to actually look for some other projects before presenting to Agnico-Eagle?
Well, that's exactly the strategy. And as you mentioned, we did acquire the Mina Grande project since the lifting of the moratorium, however, and we acquired that from a third party. We bought that project from a third party. But since the moratorium has been lifted, we've announced, or we intend to be announcing, we've just waiting for clarification as to whether our applications have been accepted, but we believe that they have been, and we'll be announcing that we've acquired 2 new projects through the alliance with Agnico-Eagle, and then this month we've just finished up work on yet a 4th project, and our anticipation is that we'll be putting in an application for that as well. So what we'll be doing then going forward is we anticipate that we would have as many as 4 projects in the basket with Agnico-Eagle, and we then have to put together technical reports on all 4 of those projects. And we'll be submitting those reports, and in fact we're in the case of Mina Grande, we're obviously doing that right now. And we're doing the field work, which would include stream sediment sampling, soil sampling, trenching, essentially identifying drill targets. We put that report together, and we submit it to Agnico-Eagle, and then they look at the report, and they have the opportunity of saying, yes, this looks like the type of property that Agnico wants to drill. And if they accept the property, it then becomes what we term a designated property, and it becomes a joint venture then with Agnico, where they move forward with the drilling.
Talking of the new laws, the new rules that have been with this new mining agency and Colombia, how would you assess them as compared to the decision you took when you saw the mining code in Colombia, when you guys decided to go there? There was a code before, and now this new code that has been passed. How would you judge it? Do you think it's more favorable to the mining companies? Will it be tougher to send applications? Will it take longer to actually do the technical reports and send them to potential partners and who wants to have some exposure in Colombia? How would you assess them?
Well, so far we see things very, very positive.
Okay.
A couple things that the new mining department is requiring is that when a company puts in for a new application, they're also requiring within a very short period of time for that company to show that it has what's termed economic capacity.
Okay.
And that simply means that the company has to show the government or the mining authority that they have, the treasury or the financial wherewithal to actually do the exploration on the property. And what that does is it takes the speculators out of the equation, and that's where Colombia got into so much trouble. Is speculators were tying up the ground; they weren't doing any work on it.
Okay.
They didn't have to pay any license fees to the government, and that's really what created the problem. So we were really pleased. Of course, we were, holding our breath that they wouldn't extend the moratorium, but in point of fact, they held the July 2nd deadline, and now we think that they're going to actually be able to move forward and process these applications, and then ultimately issue licenses, which of course is the next stage in the process.
Okay. In terms of cash, I remember in the last interview you guys had about $8.5 million in cash. I know Miranda Gold is a company that's really conservative in managing its cash. You guys don't marry project, as you said in the last interview, you're speed dating projects. So how's the treasury situation of Miranda Gold? You guys are still financially have enough cash to be able to withstand the free fall of the resources sector that if ever it continues for the next year or so?
Well, obviously, as you say, it's the sector has really been hit hard. I saw just recently that both in the second quarter of this year, the TSX and the venture exchange were down some 34%, and really Miranda has been holding its own. It's not a very attractive share price, certainly, but we've been trading in the 17 to 20 cent range, I think, for certainly the last quarter, and that is in response to the fact that we do have a strong treasury. We have just put out our third quarter financials. I believe the financials would indicate that we have about $8 million in our treasury. So normal spending down from the last time we talked. We do continue to operate the joint venture business model. We have one partner in Nevada drilling right now at our Red Canyon project.
How's it going there?
Well, the drills are turning, so until we get the assays, we never know, but they're...
and you don't know when you're going to get the assays?
Oh, the assays on that one are probably the earliest would be the end of this month.
Okay.
They started drilling about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then we're anticipating a drill campaign to start up really any day now at our Angel Wing project in Nevada, which is being funded by the Australian producer Ramelius. So that'll be another 1,300 meter 4-hole drill program that is going to follow up some attractive mineralization from last year's drilling. So they had some thin intercepts of 10 and 14 gram mineralization last year, and they'll be offsetting that to see what it looks like. So we definitely have our fingers crossed on both of those. And of course, we also announced, I think, since I talked to you last, that we had formed a joint venture outside of the Agnico deal with a company called Prism Resources in Colombia, and we're just waiting. We're pushing and working with the government mining agency to see if we can't get that application moved to a license, because once it's moved to a license, they'll start field work on that project as well.
Okay. So, Mr. Cunningham, I thank you for this follow-up. We look forward to actually hear from you again whenever you guys are able to actually get the licenses ready and actually start to move on to the next level on your Colombia adventure?
Well, I think you will hear from us again. As you said, we have the Treasury. We're positioned to outlast this downturn, and in fact, it's creating lots of opportunities for us. So we've been looking at several merger and acquisition type opportunities, primarily in Colombia. And while we haven't really executed on one of those right now, we are seeing that so many of the junior companies are out of cash and unable to raise cash that it puts us in a very advantageous position.
Okay. So we look forward to hear from you, Mr. Cunningham. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Okay.